Imagine a cold night in January. Suddenly, on a hill in the distance, you see a light, followed by a second light, and then a third, and another, and another, until finally 1,000 torches are lighting up the night sky. Slowly, the lights begin to move, steadily down a path into the town, and coming to the end to a massive Viking ship that is set on fire. This is the culmination of Great Britain's largest fire festival. It is called Awarness. The festival lasts all day, and it takes a year to plan. The festival is the last Tuesday of January every year, and then the planning for next year's festival begins February of the next year. The goings-on are so intense that the next day is recognized as a National Day of Rest. Awarness is celebrated all throughout Scotland, but the first fire festival and procession takes place in a small town called Loughrig. It pays homage to the Viking heritage of that part of the world. Blackburn and Holford Stevens described in their book in 2000, The Oxford Companion to the Year, an exploration of calendar customs and time reckoning, that the festival is the celebration of the end of the Yule season. Yule is a Nordic term that came from wintertime festivals and celebrated by the Germanic people. It was more focused on Norse mythology, and then was absorbed into the Christian celebration of Christmas, which is why you sometimes hear the term Yuletide and stuff like that when we're celebrating Christmas. The festival is recognized as a burning of the old year and the start of the new year and what's to come. The current celebration uses torches. These are very large. They're not like small torches. It's kind of like the Olympic torch. It's big like that. But it stems from the older tradition of tar barreling. Tar barreling, as described in Jump Up by Lucia Tisch, was young men would grab barrels of tar, set them on fire, place them on sleds, and then run them through the town, causing all kinds of mischief. This process was banned sometime between 1874 and 1880. So the people tried to get permission for a torch procession, which was granted, and the first official torch festival was in 1881. It's only been canceled 3 times since it began. The first time was for the death of Queen Victoria in 1901, then the World Wars, World War I, 1914 through 1919, and then again World War II, 1940 through 1948. Scotland, The Story of a Nation, was written by Magnus Magnusson in 2000, and he describes the dressing up for the festival. Only men are allowed to dress up and take part in the procession. Women are not allowed. There are nearly 1,000 men that dress up. They're called geyser squads. They wear the helmets with the horns. We've all seen those, especially if you watch football. There's one main geyser. He's called a jarl. To become a jarl, you first have to be on a committee for 15 years. Only one person is elected new to the committee every year. So if you are nominated to be the jarl for the next year, it's looked upon as a huge honor. The squads gather on the hillside at around 6:30 p.m. The jarl then lights his torch, and the squads follow suit. They march through the small town. Everyone comes out, lines the streets, and then the procession ends at a replica of a longship that's set ablaze. Brian Sykes, in his books Saxons, Vikings, and Celts, written in 2006, The Genetic Roots of Britain and Ireland, state, after the burning of the longship, the squads meet at different places that they call halls for celebrations and private parties. These halls consist of schools, sporting facilities, and hotels. Everyone that participates in the celebration is in costume. This is where women are actually finally allowed to celebrate with everybody too. They celebrate with feast, dancing, games, and a lot of drinking. Bryden explains in his paper in Apelli an ancient Viking festival, that the next day is declared a national day of rest. Apelli is a festival to celebrate the long ago age of the Vikings. Vikings are a strong people and had to overcome harsh climate conditions and shortage of food to survive. The people from the Nordic region take pride in that and like to celebrate. They celebrate it every year, the last Tuesday of January, with costumes and fire. They send out the old year with a blaze of glory, welcoming the new year with games and spirits. It has become more of a modern celebration than an old Vikings ritual, but it still instills a sense of pride and honor in all the hearts of the thousands of Scottish people that celebrate.